Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about the recent ban list that came out on Friday. So a lot of stuff happened, which I did predict in one of my older videos. Check it out, I guess. That I thought the ban list would be coming after YCS Chicago, but it proved me wrong. It showed up on the 25th? 25th, right? Or 24th. Whatever Friday was, and it had so many hits to it, so I thought I couldn't really react to it. It takes a little while for me to make and edit these videos, so I wanted to just talk about it later after I saw a little bit of the impact. So I've waited about 4 days, and now I'm going to go over it, give you my opinions on each hit. But with that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's get into the content. So for the current banned cards, we got 6 new ones in this one. A lot compared to a lot of the recent lists, but you know. So the first one is Fairy Tale Snow, which I understand why it is hit. A lot of people do just recall upon Danger Thunder Dragon, because you can pretty much go like +2, +3 with that card. And I'll be honest with you, that card was annoying. If you ever played with it, with grass, in the format, we all know how annoying it is. It wasn't really interactive. It's, oh, you want to do something? Quick effects, no, oh boy. And then you just shut things down. So I am happy this one is on the list. I am grateful that it is banned. It was a kind of weird one for me, but I'm not complaining, let's just say. The second one, Grinder Golem. It can pretty much make you Saryuja with, as long as you take your normal summon. And if you make a Saryuja, you get a special summon from hand, so like, a lot of the times, who cares? Unless you're using a deck with a bunch of normal summon effects. Like, this is just one of the very free cards in the game, and it got abused in the /FTK, so it makes sense. Like, no one played it for a fair interactive game state anyways, so I don't feel bad that this card is off the list. Well, on the ban list. Had Top Logic Gumblar Dragon. This card was nutty, just being able to say, hey, you don't get to play with cards. Like, they're going to be in the graveyard. So unless you're playing a deck that just uses all graveyard effects, you would generally be screwed. Like, all your starters, Monster Reborn, and stuff like that, they're just gone, and you cannot gain those cards back. They would just have game on board, so you have a turn with 0 cards in hand, 6 in grave, and that's it. And so yeah, that card was broken. A lot of people want it on the list. It is on the list, so I'm thankful. I was kind of okay with it. I played Dark World, so I wasn't encountering it as much, and when I did encounter it, it's like, okay, who cares? But of course everyone else begged for it, so good that it's on the list. Number 42, Tomahawk. Yeah, this card is broken. It's a Saryuja off 2 level 7s. In Ascension of Thunder, you can just says, oh, summon itself. It's a level 7. You just need to put out other level 7. You have pretty much a Saryuja already on board just with that. So I did play with the card a little bit, kind of around July and August, testing with it, and it was powerful. As long as it didn't get like Ghost Ogred, and or the Saryuja didn't get Ash or Veilered, like, you would drop the nuts. Another card is number 86, Heroic Champion Rhinomydiad. I'm happy I didn't face it in the time it was meta, but now it's gone, thank the Lord. Just being able to say, you can't play the game is just ridiculous. A lot of people said they should have hit Gossip Shadow. I agree that Gossip Shadow should stay. I wanted Rhinomydiad to be hit because it was the one that says you can't play. While Gossip Shadow says it kind of enables. Sure, you can technically, with Gossip Shadow, FTK your opponent with Ghost Trick level 4 that searches Dispel and Trap. So that's a nutty thing you can still do with Gossip Shout, but at least that's like not meta in the slightest. So I felt Gossip Shout isn't getting abused in like anything besides Rank-Up-YGO, the Ghost Trick, and Ghost Trick does absolutely like nothing. It's a weird win condition that's hard to pull off. But in the Dark Warrior, it was oppressive. That's only because Rank-Up-YGO says stop playing the game, and I thought as long as you get rid of that, Gossip Shout is doing nothing for them. So Gossip Shout stayed. I'm happy with their choice on this. I've seen many people disagree with the choice, thinking Gossip Shadow should have went, but Heroic Champion Rank-Up-YGO was the worst of the cards, I feel. Actually, comment in the comments. What is your opinion on that? Actually, I may have it in a poll either. Depends. Just comment. I don't know. And the last card is Soul Charge. It's pretty much Monster Born on crack. Like, when it was made, I feel it wasn't super as broken. Just because, like, you want to have the battle phase. Back then, you didn't really win in your first turn, I feel. And now the game's come to a point where a lot of combo decks win in their first turn or lose in their first turn. And just having Soul Charge, which says you should have the win going first, is just a nutty card. Like, if you luck draw into it, yay. If you're playing Dangers, it's like, okay, I can practically guarantee this. Just don't play Pot of Desires and draw through your whole deck, and you'll get Soul Charge at some point, and you'll summon everything back. So I am happy that Soul Charge is off the list, because many people would say I liked Soul Charge, but that's because they pulled off Soul Charge. It's a fun card for you to pull off. It's not fun when your opponent pulls it off. That's kind of the summary of it, and it's been really impressive for going first decks, since it really has no cost. Paying life points is nothing as long as you're not paying it to 0. So that's my opinion with the banned cards onto the limited. Alright, now on to the limited cards. We have 10 of them. We never have this much, but we have a lot of exciting ones. First one, pretty simple. Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy at the end. Had the Rata. We don't have to explain as much. Don't think it'll make any impact, really. Cyberstein, that's already shown at FTK. There's something that makes it psychic, and there's a thing that says psychics don't have to pay for cost, and pretty much they make Cyberstein psychic. Pretty sure they get out Cannon Soldier, just summon out the fusions, tribute them off. No, is that how it works? I think it may be Catapult Turtle. Question mark? I don't know how it actually works, but I don't think it's that well, because just saying Effect Veiler, you already paid 5,000, which many people make a big point on that, but I don't think 5,000 is too. It's half your life points, but as long as you're above 15, you're doing pretty well in the game, alright? It just sucks in time, though, where it really makes an impact. In Game 3, it would really suck to get Effect Veilered. But, yeah, I don't think this card's going to do much, but summoning the Chariot Exterior is still pretty good. Another card, Dark Refer, I think it's... We probably could have went without this hit. Like, Dark Warrior's already hit enough. I guess Dark Refer was being abused in Dangers a little bit too much. I never used it in my build, but I personally, I knew how strong it could be. But also sucks for anyone who's looking to play Orcus, because I know Dark Refer and the new Orchestrating Nightmare, whatever the card is from Savage Strike, you just discard that, summon the Greffer, you pretty much have the nutty combo, like, just on that. And so it sucks to see it go, because now it's going to be way harder to have that night combo in good old Orcus, so, you know, stinks for them, but it's better for the game. We have Shuret Strategist and Necroz, which a lot of people thought it was going to get unbanned, and it was pretty obvious when you see that they've unbanned stuff to try and sell product. So this was honestly coming after you see the reprints for Necroz and Dual Power. This felt kind of obvious, and it's a good time to do it because it's a search card and Thunder Dragons are a thing, so it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but now it has a hard out in the meta already, so if it's not going to become broken, like, almost guaranteed. We also got El Shaddai Construct off the list, also very hyped. This one was more of an unknown compared to Shuret, but a lot of people just begged for Shuret and Construct, and we get them both in one, so that's just really amazing. And you can kind of play it as an engine now, so take that for how you will. I do like the Construct at 1. We'll probably get it at 3 soon enough. They're going to realize, oh, no one's playing this? Alright, give it back to 3. And still no one will really play it. Well, I test with it a little bit, but I don't think it's going to make really any impact. Especially since all the Shaddai monsters really have been power creeped. One of the cards, Brilliant Fusion. I feel this is a weird one. It is a slight hit to Gemini FTK. And it is a hit to pretty much combo decks, which I feel Brilliant Fusion is a good hit just because people haven't thought of really the insane Charumni plays. Because just having it at 3, it sucks when you go, okay, Orphoscorpio effect, and you actually like, okay, cool, we shut down a turn, and then they drop Brilliant Fusion anyways, and it's like, that was very annoying, so that's almost never going to happen now. And now you have to play the plants, I really feel, to play the engine, and now when you know that you Ash, and they don't call by it, you're good. You know you're going to be safe now. And, but the plants still have value since 2 level 3s, which means you can go into Trubni before you activate Brilliant Fusion. You get a dump of something, so it still has a good value at 1, but it's not as broken as it is at 3. Another card, Gold Sarcophagus, just to hit the Thunder Dragons, and I feel this is a good hit just because it's so generic. Anything that really banishes can use this, and it's just annoying. Banishing Necroface is just very annoying. It's like, no one wants to deal with that. No one likes to banish decks, so I'm not going to have a problem with Gold Sarcophagus going to 1. Magical Midfield Breaker. No one predicted that one. Almost no one. But good hit because, you know, it said combo decks could just go off without getting, like, hand-trapped too severely. Like, it stopped Ghost Ogre, stopped Psyframe, or Omega from destroying. Probably did some other stuff too, I can't think of it off my head, but good this is at 1. Means we have a better chance to hand trap. Seems like the game's been pro hand trap, like they never end up hitting hand traps, and you're like, they're the balance to the game, they're the necessary evil, people sometimes say. So I do like that hit. Scapegoat to 1. I could have seen it staying at 2. I thought it was fine, but then again, I didn't see many decks that were playing it anyways. Not because it wasn't getting played as much, more that I just did not see it. So this is more of a unacknowledged opinion. I don't feel I have the knowledge to say, oh, this should have stayed at 2. It probably deserved to stay at 1, but from what I saw, it was okay at 2. It did enough hits to consistency, and did put a good value in, like, having Borrelsword Dragon, like, and all the pieces in the extra deck, because it's still a cost to have all that stuff there, like the Mrs. Ring and the Link Spiders, but now I think it'll be very much more gone, unless it's like Altergeist where it's like, sure, I guess you can throw it in for whatever reason. Altergeist would still not play it because you want to use multi-figure. Still, you get the point. It's not going to get played as much. Only in something like that's not going to heavily special summon on opponent's turn or values its extra deck. So they're probably going to play the one Scapegoat and 3-pot Extravagance. Just one more card, Slash Jaw going to 1. Means you cannot resolve Slash Jaw in the slightest. So, good hit. I thought it would be okay if they just went to 2. I thought it deserved a hit indefinitely. But I thought 2 would be a good enough consistency to do it. So people could pull it off, but it's ridiculously harder. Because I've seen a lot of like issues with like one getting sent to grave, and it's like then it gets way harder. And having 3 means you can mess up with 1 and still have the other one. With 2, you couldn't mess up with a single one. You gotta make sure 1's in deck, and you gotta make sure 1's safe on hand or field. So, but going to 1, I don't think a lot of people cared for Slash Draw as much. There was one person I saw play it just as a tech choice, and I think it is an interesting card, just on itself. You'll never resolve the effect now, but I've seen it do some pretty cool stuff, so being at 1 is perfectly fine. It stops the FTK, and that's great. But that's all the limited cards. Now on to the unlims. We didn't have any semi-limits, so straight to unlims. Alright, last but not least, we have the 9 unlimited cards. The first one is Insector Hornet. I don't really know what impact it has. I'm not a pro on Insectors. I don't really know anything of what they do. But I think it came off from 1 or 2, I don't remember. I heard it does something with popping cards to summon stuff, so it sounds pretty good. So I guess it's good for them. They have a Link monster now, so hopefully they can do something. They're probably dope. Then Wind Up Magician. Who cares? I don't think it does too much for wind-ups at all. It's like, ooh, you may open it in your hand more commonly. We're perfectly fine with it at 2. Like, I don't think we need it at 3. But it's better to just have it at 3 than have it at 2. So, okay, just clear up the semi-limits. We don't really like that part. We don't really need it for a lot of cards. Then we have Necros of Brionic. It's the other search ritual. I don't know Necros too well either. But again, shut down by Thunder Dragons. But it's good to see it at 3. I'm pretty sure it was at 1 before, so I could be wrong with that too. I don't remember where they came off from, but pretty good for them. You got incantations now. I want to see them do something. I heard they were a pretty fair deck, and every time I've seen them with these hits, they've been okay chill decks to play against. Fourth is TG Hyper Librarian. Doesn't do much. Pretty sure they're trying to sell TGs. It's like the last card for them on the list, so it's like, just clear it off. They have the TG support now, so who cares? It wasn't doing anything anyways. It's not going to make an impact. Evil Swarm Extinction Knight to 3 doesn't mean make impact. You're only going to play 1 of it, so you can play 3 if you want. Oh boy. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. This is a really interesting one. I feel it very much brings value, but it was a good time to bring it off since there's Thunder Dragons in the format. You can't destroy them. You can't really board wipe them and give them the Kaijus, so it can't be used against Thunder Dragons. It does almost nothing. Sky Strikers, well, it does do something. I guess it is kind of a hit if they leave the Shizuku, but they can play around it once they know it's there. by just not summoning a monster and trying to do their plays without it. So I think this card is going to be really nice at 3. It's going to put more value to kaijus, and I guess it gives more value to the kaiju secret rare in Savage Strike. So good all around. I think this is a nice thing to come to 3. Then the Monarch Stormforth. I don't like this one. I think it should have stayed at 1 for a bit longer. True Dracos are still in the format. Now they can consistently say, oh, you have a monster? If they end up going second. Usually I would say they would go first. They'd be like, oh, you got a monster there? Let me just say goodbye. It's like pretty much a kaiju for them. And they just put down like their broken ass dynamite and get rid of one of your things and they put down one of their things. I don't like that. But it could be a good chance to say that Monarch cards will be coming off the list. I feel Monarchs are due to come off the list. Like we've seen Cosmo stuff come off. It's like we can have Monarchs. Monarchs are okay deck. And it'll be okay to see them in the format, especially for how like strong decks have become now. And if they come to full power, I can still see them doing something, and you know, make it a bit of an impact, kind of like I would say Paleo's, a Paleo level type deck, in what its power is. So hopefully this is a sign that Monarchs will come off. It is a fun deck to play, and it is interesting. So please see them all come off. But Stormforth, it's scary because True Dracos are still in the format. You may have forgot about them. I haven't. Then there's limiter removal. Because if you really want OTK with trains even more than you're already doing, go right ahead and just limiter removal. Attack for 12,000 now. Like, I didn't think it needed to be at 1 anyways, so this is fine. It's boost to Cyber Dragons, I guess, if you're playing it to OTK. So selling that, we're getting Cyber Dragon card and dual power, which is a pretty broken one from what I know. There's, oh, I missed a card. There's actually 10, my bad. Eradicator Epidemic Virus. I was playing this in a deck. My danger is just because you can summon Bigfoot, and then when you come across Sky Strike, it's like, oh yeah, you're not playing now. And I would just OTK over the next turn. And this card, nutty, just says knockout spells, knockout traps. With Bigfoot just saying, I can pretty much summon myself with, if it's your opening hand, you're going first. 80% chance you're just summoning that thing, and you can draw into Epidemic if you're playing Ninjas. Just keep on drawing, you get it, you set it, and then you tribute off Bigfoot, and they got no spells. So this card, now I have consistency. I'll probably bump it up to 2 at least. This card, really good. Is kind of a hit Sky Strikers, and many people say Thunder Dragons will get used with it. I do see it making sense, but I don't know what they have to tribute off. They can tribute off Colossus, but I don't know if it's worth it to do that. I don't think they have a big enough monster. But also Trap Trick is a thing. You could just rota this thing out now. You could play 6 copies. Think about that. And one card that I ended up not seeing there was Infernity Barrier, which I don't know what impact it'll have, but Infernities, I don't feel will be getting all their cards off the list anytime soon, unless they make it support, and then they want to give the support some support. I don't see the rest of the cards coming off the list, so Infernity Barrier back, I think that's fine. So that's it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you liked, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.